All right, the great Bob Dylan song, Knocking on Heaven's Door. I've added a few little color parts here. So this is like a second guitar part, and it kind of mimics like a mandolin or that kind of a idea, I guess. And all we're doing for this second section is we're playing a G chord, but in a triad shape, which is like a D shape. So here's a D shape here. If you move that all the way up to the 7th, 8th, and 7th frets there, D shape like that, that's a G chord, a G triad. So we don't play the D string, we just play the top 3 strings, G, B, E. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mute strings with my thumb, so I'm just touching them to make sure they don't make a sound. And I use my first finger to just touch the D string so it doesn't make a sound either. So can have a full strum, and I can get this kind of a sound. Now, even though I'm hitting lots of strings, I'm really only hearing those 3. So that's a nice little left-hand trick for the more upper beginners. It's lower intermediate playing, if you can sort of get these other fingers muting strings that you don't want to hear. It's a nice little exercise. So we've only got a couple of parts for this section. It's the G shape here, and it's going to be like this. It's like a... The other little variation we have for that, so the first time it's just the G chord by itself. So the second time round, if you add your pinky on to the 8th fret of the E string, that's a suspended 4th sound. So now it's a G suspended 4th like this. So that's our second sort of move. So it's going to be one time without it. So it's one time just a normal G. And the second time round, it's going to be with the suspended 4th. And that's basically our verse parts. When we hit a chorus, we're going to do some more triads. So we're going to play a G triad, like the normal one, like the one we're just doing. And we're going to rake this time. So it's like a quick rake. Sounds like this. So it's not a strum like this. It's actually sort of rolls through each of the strings. So you hear each note very quickly after each other. It's called a rake. And the next chord is going to be a D chord. So so the 3 chords are going to be like this. The 3 triads are G, a D chord. So if you picture a D bar chord, we're going to play the middle part of that triad. So that's going to be D string 7th, G string 7th, B string 7th. And again, we're going to rake through it. So you hear all 3 notes. And the last one is going to be a C major triad, which is going to be 10th fret D, 9th fret G, and 8th fret B. You can think of that like the Hendrix style thing. Hendrix would use that shape quite a lot. It's actually from the bar chord. There's a C bar chord there. But that's the middle triad. So we're going to, again, rake through that. And that's our part. So it's going to go like this. G, D, C. Now it's interesting because we're going to play that C chord even when the other guitarists play an A minor. And A minor and C are brother-sister chords. They're closely related. They're relative major and minor. So they can work across each other. For our purposes, we're just going to play C chord every single time. So it's always going to be G, D, C. G, D, and C. And that's all our parts. So we've only got the G chord, the G suspended chord, and that's the verse. And then the chorus goes G, D, C. And that's all the parts.